Hey, Andrew, we can absolutely take a look at this one, sir. So, when you're saying doing things out of order, remember we're trying to follow BEDMAS here, and that's all we can really do. Let's start with, and the goal before we get started, we want y by itself, right? Y equals mx plus b form. So first things first, we can't combine what's going on in the brackets here, right? They're unlike terms, so we have to distribute, which means we're going to multiply both terms, x and -2, by this fraction out here. So when we multiply anything by a fraction, we're basically just dealing with the numerators here, and the denominator will come through. So what that's going to look like, that's going to be y plus 2. Now, -1 over 7 times x is just negative x over 7. Right? The 1 is up here too. You don't have to write the 1 because 1x, I'm just writing that as x. Now our next term, two negatives make a positive, so I can just write a plus sign. And again, we're really just dealing with the numerator here. Another way to think of this is you could presume this is like 2 over 1, right? And we just multiply that out. Regardless, we're going to get 2 over 7 right here. So that's our first step. We have no more brackets. Next, let's subtract 2 from both sides, or 2 over 1, and that will get y by itself. Now I'm just going to erase that to make some space for myself. Over here, we have like terms, right? So we have to deal with fractions now. And remember that we can't add or subtract two fractions unless we have a common denominator, which we don't here. So I'm going to take 2 over 7. We can just write that down again. And in red here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this some fraction over 7. Okay? So 7 times 1 gives me 7, so 2 times 7 will give me 14. And this again is an equivalent fraction. This could be reduced if you were to divide this down, and we get -2. Now because I have common denominators, I can go ahead and subtract the numerators. That's going to give me -12 over 7. Okay, so if I do all that work and I just clean this up a little bit, these are all basically hen scratches now. We have -12 over 7. That's in lowest terms. So minus 12 over 7. And that's effectively it. We're now in y equals mx plus b form. Another way to think about this, m being our slope, would be -1 over 7 x minus 12 over 7. Okay, so again, we know there's a 1 up here. I'm just writing this a little bit different. That's an awful 1, but it's right here. So really our slope here is -1 over 7. So basically that means we would go down 1 unit and run out 7, and then keep doing that for every value of x. And our y-intercept right here, we would start at -12 over 7. You could throw that into a decimal if you wanted to approximate it, but again, that's the basic algebraic way to do it right there. So I hope that helps. Let me know if it doesn't.